What's good, everybody? There is a lot of basketball being played this summer. I'm talking indoor, outdoor, summer league, Drew League, Pro Am League. I'm here with Nelson from the basketball channel Hoopin' Life. We have 9 basketballs here, and we are here to talk about and review which indoor basketballs are the best to play with. Hey, yo, you ready now? Man, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's hit the gym. Hold up. All right, so the first step to reviewing these basketballs is to make sure that you pump them all up to the same PSI. So right now we're gonna start with 5.5 PSI, which is pounds per square inch. That's a unit of measure for air pressure. The recommended for most of these basketballs are 7, but we felt like that was a little bit bouncy at first, so we're gonna start at 5.5 and then go up to the recommended 7 when we need to. All right, so the first basketball we're gonna talk about is the Nike Elite Championship. So this is actually the ball that I currently use right now, and it is kind of broken in, so I have to take that into consideration.
The Nike Elite is one of my favorite balls. The rubber is real nice and soft, although I do feel like this ball is a little more heavier than other balls.
Really?
But,
I thought it was lighter.
It's not as soft as other balls, but it's still pretty nice.
I will say, when I bring this to the gym, a lot of people are not used to playing with the Nike Elite ball, so they usually reach for the other brands, such as the Wilson Evolution, which we'll talk about. But I'm always like, yo, guys, you don't like to play with this? Like, it feels good. It's not too grippy. The channels aren't too deep. And by channels, I mean like the groove here, where it kind of dips in and connects here with the rubber seal right here. Another piece of technology about this ball that's really important is the airlock technology. I will say this does not lose air pressure very much. You pump it up and it stays like that for months at a time.
That's the good thing about the Nike ball, is that it's very consistent in terms of, you know, the air pressure.
So, Nelson, final verdict on the Nike Elite ball. Should you use it or should you lose it?
Use it.
Okay, next basketball up is the all popular, the Wilson Evolution. One thing that it is important, that these channels are pebbled. So there's actually grip on them. They're not flat and everything like that, like usual. In my opinion, it's always a solid basketball. It is the most popular, most widely used basketball in like pickup games, any type of league games. I mean, you see this everywhere. This is the standard ball to have.
To me, I think the Evo is probably one of the softest basketballs. The leather feels really nice. It's easy to grip. This is probably one of my favorites, I've got to say. Out of the box, it actually doesn't feel as nice. It's really hard. It's kind of bouncy. It does take time to break in, but like once this ball breaks in, it's one of the top basketballs out there.
I will say, out of the box though, it doesn't feel bad. When you're judging something out of the box, obviously it's probably gonna wear in and feel better over time. But I still think if it feels good out of the box, generally that's a good sign. Final verdict on the Wilson Evolution. Use it or lose it, use it. All right, the next basketball up that we got is the oddest looking of them all, the Wilson Wave. Notoriously known for looking funny, kind of an ugly basketball. I think it's an acquired taste or it's acquired look. So it has 3 extra grooves in each panel. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 times 3. That is 24 grooves right there on the basketball. It's describing how many grooves there are, so you can actually dig your fingers into more of the panel and get a better grip. Yeah, I actually heard this is a really good ball for a lot of beginners or kid leagues, just because kids, their hands are small and they need a little bit extra grip on the basketball. When you're shooting and the ball is really smooth, it can slip a little bit. That has happened, but with the extra grooves, it's supposed to prevent that, because your fingers are always in a groove, so it's gonna kind of hook on to one of these corners, and then the backspin's gonna be a lot better.
All right, Andrew, verdict for the Wilson Wave, use it or lose it?
Use it.
What? Use it?
I'm saying use it if you are maybe training for your shot, or for young kids that need a little bit extra grip on the basketball.
Okay.
Nelson, you know I've been trying to work on my 3-point shot lately. But I might try it out even more just because I really want to know if this can improve my shot. Okay, next basketball is TF1000 Legacy. Nelson, we kind of agree that out of the box, and based on the reviews that I read online, because I read a lot, that they do not like this one very much. This is called deep channel design. What do you think about deep channels on basketball? Channels being, you know, the black lines.
Right.
These are pretty deep, so I can definitely feel it on the ball. My thumb is like sinking in, my fingers are.
I'm not a fan of like really deep channels. To be honest with you, the TF1000 Legacy personally is pretty bad.
One review said that the lettering got slippery, so it affected their shot. Your pointer finger hits it, unfortunately, and you're trying to release it. It might slip, I can feel it. I feel like overall, this is just not a very well-designed basketball. Final verdict for the Spalding TF1000 Legacy, lose it. The next basketball coming up is the Baden Elite. All right, so this is actually one of the other balls that I'm personally using, so I have to say it is broken in. What do you like about the Baden, first off? It is quite different than the other basketballs.
The Baden basketball is mad buttery. So smooth and soft, but that's not necessarily a good thing. I feel like it's a little bit slippery.
Okay.
But the feeling of it feels really nice. It's soft, the leather is soft.
If I had to hold one ball in my hand forever, it would be this one. I would say the channels here are really big and they're not that deep.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. I would say this, the Baden just feels different than other balls, man. Final verdict on the Baden Elite. Use it or lose it. Use it, but it might not be for everybody. Next basketball we got up, coming from one of the best shoe brands of all time. Yes, we're talking about Jordan Legend basketball. Things right off the bat, this ball looks more brown. And it's funny because actually I feel like a long time ago when basketball first was invented, this is actually the color of the leather that they used. So this is a really minimalistic looking ball, very clean. It just has the Jordan logo, legend on it. That's pretty much it.
I feel like the rubbers are not as thick as the Nike Elite, but they still do feel kind of nice. It's kind of firm, but it probably does take time to break in a little bit.
To me, this ball is cool.
Yeah.
It's fine, but it's not like, if it was like half price, I could totally recommend this to a lot of people.
Right.
But it's $64, which is pretty much the same as a lot of these other basketballs.
Jordan basketball, it's a solid basketball, but I mean, if you were to spend $65 on this, I would rather spend the $65 on a different basketball. The grooves are a little thinner, and I feel like the ball and the leather is a little bit thinner.
Okay, final verdict on the Jordan Legend basketball. Use it or lose it, we are going to say lose it. Okay, the next basketball we got coming up is a Nike signature basketball. It is the Nike LeBron James basketball. Yes, this is the LBJ 14. First off, big plus about this basketball. I know we haven't talked too much about price on the other balls. They're generally around the same price, about 70 bucks. This is actually only $35. This wraparound panel construction is very interesting looking. To be honest, I could not tell you that that makes it better because overall, I don't like this basketball.
This basketball is boo-boo, man.
Oh.
This basketball is like a boulder. The grooves here, the grooves and channels here are like kind of weird.
They're super deep. I'm not a huge fan of just this basketball though. It's just too hard and slippery. Like if you guys could feel it right now, I swear, like you would just know.
Instantly, you pick this up, you're feeling it. It's like, dude, this basketball is boo-boo, man.
Okay, if you just want to play the best basketball that you can, do not get this basketball.
I'm telling you,
I would say invest an extra $20, $30 into a really good basketball. If you're like a mature basketball player and you're looking for a good, high quality basketball, I say invest in a different one. Our final verdict for the LBJ 14 All Courts official basketball for indoor. Use it or lose it. Lose it. But
I feel like this might be a pretty good outdoor ball.
okay, the next basketball coming up is the Wilson NCAA Solution Official Game Ball.
Wilson official? Hey, the Solution Game Ball.
Just roll it, keep it, keep it. They said that this is the only moisture absorbing cover. What is this, dry fit? I didn't get a chance to play with this too much, but it has pretty good reviews. It is the ball that they play with during March Madness, so it's gotta be pretty solid. The grooves are kind of big. It does feel like a slightly more rubbery version of the Evolution.
It's not as smooth, it's drier, it's more rigid.
They think it's better for form shooters versus someone who needs the touch to shoot.
I feel like because the ball is a little rougher and more difficult to shoot with, the shooter has to rely on their shooting skills to actually, make the shot.
I want to try it out because one, it's expensive. Two, it's the official NCAA basketball.
Right out of the box, it doesn't feel that nice, but when it's breaking in a little bit, it does get a little more smoother, but it is still harder and not as soft compared to Evo. Plus, this ball kind of changes color over time.
Ah.
The more you use it, it turns more of a brown colorway. Not as dark as this, but it's still more of a more brown rather than pinkish orange.
So final verdict on the Wilson NCAA official game basketball. Use it or lose it. It is lose it. The last basketball we're gonna be talking about of our 9 basketball review for the best indoor basketball. It is the Under Armour 695.
Initially out of the box, it feels really hard, very rough.
Have you noticed that in these grooves, like, do you feel them? They're like very sharp. They slope down very steeply. Shout out to UA. They took this into consideration. They knew that they were gonna have a big old logo. And you know, sometimes when you have a logo, it is slippery because they like paint over it with like a shiny paint or something. But they actually put a separate material here that is extra grippy. In every description, there had been Buttle Bladder. B-U-T-Y-L bladder. What does that mean when it comes to a basketball? Let's talk about it. Low levels of air leakage lets you keep the air pressure at a more constant level, best for use on hard surfaces. So that's why they put it in basketballs. Buttle is like a type of material, and it's kind of like the inside of the basketball, so it's better for harder materials. It's gonna keep the shape, gonna keep the air pressure longer. UA is trying to do some things, okay? They released this technology called Grip Skin. Overall though, the basketball does not feel very special, especially with the deep, steep grooves like we were talking about. I'm sorry, UA.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish.
But Spalding and Wilson got the best basketballs on the market. Verdict for the UA 695 Grip Skin basketball. Nelson, use it or lose it. I'm going with lose it. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for watching our indoor basketball review. I hope it was helpful for you guys, and it was really fun for us because we love basketball. Shout out to Nelson for being here from Hoopin' Life. Check out his channel down below. And in the comments below, let me know if there's another basketball that you guys like to use. And also, let us know if there's any other sort of sports equipment review videos that you want us to do. Shout out to you, and until next time, we out.
Peace.
I might give away some of these basketballs, so I don't know if you catch me in real life, maybe I'll give one of these to you. Maybe we'll do a goggle review. But thank you, everybody.
Peace.